Some mornings I've said I don't have anything to say. I got too much to say this morning. Too much. The thoughts get messed up in my head sometimes, and I can't get all of them out in the order I want to say them, and I leave things out and think. I get home and say, well, Lord, you told me to say that, and I forgot. I got a bad habit in my personal life of saying too much. Got to give my opinion. Got to tell you what I think about it. Got to tell you when you're wrong and when I'm right. You can't do that in God's world. You can't. When you speak for God, your opinion don't really matter much. What you think don't matter that much. What you feel don't matter that much. It's hard to separate that. As a dad, as a grandparent, as a husband, as a friend, I got an opinion about every one of you. I got thoughts about every one of you. Doesn't make me right. But if I ever come to you and I say, God wants me to talk to you, believe me, it's not me coming, because I have no desire to talk to you like that. Playing the long game. Life's long. Life's long. If you counted every second you lived, you're getting into the millions and millions. And you've made a lot of decisions in your life. And every decision you make affects the next one and the next one and the next one. Are you playing the long game? That's my question this morning. Where are your thoughts today? Is it about the next hour, the next 5 minutes? Oh, Lord, will Mark get finished with this and make me quit suffering for 40 minutes or so? Can I get out of church and be done with this today and get to my football? Oh, are you worrying about work tomorrow? What is your long game? You all got one. I'll tell you who's playing the long game this morning. Satan. He ain't worried about getting your soul today. He's not worrying about tomorrow. He just worried about getting it before you take your last breath. That's his long game, and he is good at it. He will set up so many traps for you in your life that you have no clue. You don't see what's coming. And you think you're going the right direction, and you turn around one day and you went so far in the wrong direction, you don't know which way is right anymore. I love chess. It's a pretty complicated game. The object of chess is get the king where he cannot move anywhere. Well, in your life, the king is Jesus Christ. You've got him in your life if you're a Christian. But if he can ever get you a position where you cannot get Jesus to move on your behalf because of your actions, he won the long game. Now, we think sometimes a king fights a king. That's not how it works in chess. The pawn, which is the smallest person or the figure on the chessboard that has the least amount of power, who can really do very little damage, a lot of times is the key to killing the king. It's a little thing. It might be your attitude. It might be your discontent. You're just not satisfied. You know, if you're not satisfied, Satan's going to bring you something that satisfies you for a short time. Not for the long run. Because you know what? It don't matter how full I got yesterday eating with my mom for Thanksgiving. That satisfied me for a short time. I ate 3 kinds of meat. Had the choice of 8 or 9 meats. I have my choices in chess. Your first move in chess, you have 20 possible moves. We're pretty good at our first move in life. We get it right. It's hard to get it wrong. But then you go to your second turn, it turns into 400 possibilities. And you go to your third, after your first time, you got 400. After your second time, 72,000. After your third decision, which builds upon each one, you're up to 9 million possibilities. After your fourth decision in chess, you're up to 288 billion possibilities. Think back on your life. Where you're at right now. What got you there? Was it one choice? It was all the choices combined. And if you think you're smart enough to think for God's will in your life, I can tell you got 288 billion ways of messing it up. And it only takes one wrong move to lose the king in your life. It takes one wrong move for Jesus Christ not to be the center of your life anymore. And you know what? In Christianity, we can start over. But the damage you've done in your life, a lot of times cannot be started over. Because I'm not just playing for me. I'm playing for the souls of my family, my friends, my loved ones. When I lose the game, they lose. Well, Mark, you're not responsible for others. I totally disagree with you. I think we're more responsible for them than we can ever imagine. Your opponent is Satan. In chess, you take turns. I get to move, you get to move. I get to move, you get to move. Are you letting Satan take in turns with your life? For a while, you move towards God. Didn't you think I'll let Satan have a turn? I'll move back towards Satan a little bit. The possibility of messing up works both times. When I make my move, I can do something that's going to ruin things. And when I let Satan take a turn, there's a possibility he's going to ruin things. Here's the difference. I may or may not make the right move. I guarantee you when Satan gets his turn, he's a better player than I am. He knows the game. He knows all the outcomes. He knows how to play my life. And I'm afraid too many of us are letting Satan have some turns. I watch the young people. They're making pretty good moves. Some of their moves are not good. They're letting Satan take some moves in their lives. I watch older people. I'm left-handed. I'd rather do this. I let Satan take some turns sometimes. And all it takes is one wrong move. Playing the long game. Personally in my life, I do play the long game. Financially, physically, I know everything I do today affects tomorrow. That's why I don't spend every penny I got today on satisfying myself. I don't empty my checking account today because I know things are coming along tomorrow. If you're sitting here and you're my age and you're broke today, you've made some bad moves financially in your life. Now, sometimes you can't control the moves because things happen. Washer tears up. Got a family member that's going on. Got them down. And all I said was, you got to prepare for it. I got to look at what's going to happen in the future that I'm doing today that affects that. I got to know that tomorrow is more important than today. As a Christian, I got a long game. It's not to go to work. It's not to build a house. It's not to watch a ball game, hope the Vols win. It's not even to make sure that you're living right. My long game is coming. That's God's plan for me. My personal plan for me, I was going to get rich, be good looking, have my family, and a home paid for before I was 30. I only got one of them. Didn't get any of them. God's plan for me started when I was born. I didn't start listening until I was 11. I wasted, you can't say you wasted your first year or two because you don't do much thinking doing that. But I wasted 9 or 10 years. Let's go on. Who's moving your pieces? You decided to get up and come to church this morning. Why? Why are you here? Now, you made the right move, but why did you make the move? Did you have a purpose making that move, or did you just get lucky? Or it's just a habit? I used to play a lot of chess in high school. Still a study hall, 6th period, they let us have a chess club. We ended up playing against other high schools in Chattanooga. There were 10 other high schools. I got good enough because I played every day, and I learned something. If you follow those that know the right moves, and you sort of imitate what they're doing, you get good at it. I bought a computerized chess set. It knows the right moves. And it's also programmed, the better you move, the harder it gets. The better I play, the more intelligent I get, the more challenging it's going to get. You know, as a Christian, Satan's the same way. We really believe if I live close to God and I do all the right things, Satan's going to leave me alone. He's going to come harder. He's going to make it more difficult. If you're waiting for your life to get easy because you're serving God, the day's not going to get here. Not in the short run. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. Whew. That's the hardest thing. That's in Isaiah 55, 8, and 9. I throw a little Bible on there so you think it's just not more talking. That's one of the hardest things I ever learned in my life. Me and God are not on the same page. We're not even in the same book. He's only got one book, the Bible. You know what books I've read in my life for advice on things? You know, they tell you have a marriage problems, go to a marriage counselor. I think you need to go to the book. They tell you your health is bad. The Bible tells you how to live healthy. Don't be gluttonous. Go to the book. Your heart's troubled. Go to the doctor. No, go to the book. You don't run to your best friend asking advice until you read the book. My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. You notice he changed that around. My thoughts, then he went to your ways. God thinks above me. And I say so far above me that sometimes I gotta blindly do it. I cannot do anything unless you tell me why. Mark, I need you to come over the house. Why? Mark, I need to borrow $20. Why? It's out of human curiosity. I got to know before I do it. God says, Mark, you need to do it without questioning it. That's hard. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I don't like being told what to do or asked to do something without a reason. John 14:27, peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Are you troubled? Is there a problem in your life this morning? You're not moving your pieces the right way. Your hand's on it. God's hand's not. I watched some young people that I am close to. When I say young, if you're under 40, you're young. You're laughing. Your day's coming. I'm serious. If you're getting close to 40, you're starting to feel that. And their heart is troubled a lot anymore. Every little thing's upsetting them. Maybe they're having a problem with one of their kids. Maybe the relationship in their family is not what it be. Maybe their job's not what it needs to be. And it's destroying their whole life. You're moving your own pieces. You can't do that. You don't see how it all falls together. You don't see how your first move and your third move and your 30th move is playing out in God's will. You think that this move is going to destroy me. That move you make may be the very move that decides the game. And you aren't willing to make it because you just don't see it. Has God ever told you to give money when you were broke or close to broke? And you will argue with God? I only got $20 left. That's my gas money. Will you give it? Now, I'm going to raise both hands. Sometimes I have. Sometimes I haven't. And sometimes I've said, God, whatever mine is yours, because I know whatever yours is mine. And why can we believe if I'm willing to give it, you think God won't give it back? He can't tell me no. Oh, you can tell God, God. His Bible said, if I trust and believe in Him, all things are possible. So I got to learn to trust in Him, not to be troubled. Now, if you're troubled this morning, you don't need to be shouting. You ain't going to shout your troubles away. Don't work that way. You got to surrender. You got to surrender and let Him make the moves. That's the only way to fix your troubled heart. If you're waiting on Trump to fix your troubled heart and make your life better, He can't. If you're waiting on the Democrats to get back in to fix your life, not going to happen. I am sorry. They don't know the moves. Omniscience, omniscience, can you say? It's defined as a state of having total knowledge, the quality of knowing everything. Here's the joke for the day. We call that a wife. No. We call that God. He knows it all. If I took a poll right now on who's the smartest person in this room, and I said write it on a piece of paper, some of you would vote for yourself. You may want to raise their hand. Okay. Some of you, I said, write the 5 smartest people. Your name would be on that list every time. Now, you may be a little bit humble and not put yourself as the smartest, but if I ask for the 5 smartest people and you write on a list and just turn it in, nobody knows who turned it in, you'd be in the top 5. If you're being honest, because you think you are. I do. If I didn't, I'd be asking everybody's advice more than I do and take it. Now, I think I'm the expert for my life. No, I'm not. Isaiah 46, 9 through 10. Remember the former things of old, for I am God. For I am God. What are the things of old for me? It's not my life. It's just a little bit of the old. I only know 63 years of the old. That's as far back as I can go. My youngest memory is being 5-year-old, falling off of a second-story window, landing on my back. I remember that. No, it didn't kill me. Thank you. I remember the fear before I hit the ground. I can remember that. So I can remember back 58 years. That's my old. But the things of old for God is from here to the creation of the world, and even back farther than that. And there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me. Verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times the things that are not yet done. Not yet done. What does that mean? That means your future. That means tomorrow. I was a little bit corny, trying to be cute with Kevin on Facebook. He said, what time are you leaving tomorrow? I said, I guess we're not going because tomorrow never comes. You know, really, it doesn't. Well, that's what I said. He said, Dad. I said, well, we're always asking God about tomorrow. You know, for God, tomorrow will never get here because eternity has no measurement of time. He started eternity ago, and he's going to finish eternity from now. So when he says of old, he's been going longer than that. Let's compare it back to chess. I've probably played 2,000 or 3,000 games of chess in my life. He has played billions and billions and billions. He knows every possible move, every possible scenario. He knows how I'm going to react to his actions. He knows how he's going to react to my actions. He's won the game. He knows how it's coming out, and I'm still worrying about making the next move. I am worried about every little move in my life so much that I cannot see that God's got control. My truck's tore up. I am sad. That's my best grandkid. I love my truck. It's never let me down to this time. I was taking it over to Tim's Auto to get worked on. I gave Tim a plug. Might be able to knock some price off. Tire making an awful racket. Right, left front drivers. I've had the tire off. I've looked at the wheel bearings. I've looked at the brake pads, the rotors. And I put it back on. I didn't see nothing wrong. And you can hear it rubbing. We took it over. I headed out there yesterday. I pulled over at Samson Church. I got out and I kicked the tire. I kicked it hard. It quit. I got back in the truck and drove. It quit. I kicked it hard. That's our philosophy in life right there. If I can't get it to work right, I'll kick it. If I can't get along with somebody, I'll kick them. If I got a problem in life, I'll kick it till it goes away. I didn't fix that truck. I might knock something around a little bit. I told Tim what I done too, and he sort of laughed. He said, what did he say? He said something cute. I can't remember what he said. But I said, I know the problem's not gone. I know it still exists, the problem. That move did not fix anything. All I done was cover it up. My counsel shall stand. My counsel shall stand. When it means stand, his word, his ways, his decisions are always right now, yesterday, and forever. It's not a one-time move that makes me good. It's a one-time stupid move that made the truck sound better, but it didn't fix it. When God makes a move, it's permanent. Permanent. And I will do all my pleasure. Who's moving your pieces? Psalms 14:1. The fool says in his heart, I'm a fool. I am a fool. I'm the biggest fool in this world. I fool myself every day. I fool you. I fool my boss. Sometimes my boss thinks I'm working and I'm not. He's still paying me. Oh, you've never done that either, have you? Oh, come on now. If you get paid 8 hours, you're supposed to be working 8 hours. There's times I goof off. Lord, I hope they never check the computer I work on. It's got Tennessee Vols, fantasy football on it. That's got nothing to do with my pay. But you know why I'm a fool? I'm fooling myself. I know I'm cheating the company. I'm hurting me. Hurting them too, but hurting me too. And I'm willing to cheat a man by making moves that I know that cheats a man. I'm willing to cheat God. The only difference is you can fool a man. You can't fool God. Now, there is no God. They are corrupt. They do abominable deeds. There is none who does good. An old saying, a man who is his own lawyer has a fool for a client. When do a man want to be his own lawyer? When he goes to court and he thinks he's smart, thinks he's smarter than everybody there, and he'll lose. You know when a Christian's a fool? We go to court and stand in front of God and Satan, and we try to be our own lawyer. And you try to convince both, and we do it. We justify our lives and our decisions and our moves in front of God and Satan. And you know who knows we're wrong and knows that we're a fool? God and Satan. And both of them will beat you at your game. God will bring it to your attention, son. I love you, but you know that's not right. You're lying to me. And Satan will make it worse. He'll tell you, boy, you're lying to me, but you're lying to your Father God too. He's going to hit you twice. And a man who makes his own decision falls in the same boat. I'm my own man. Man, we have a Frank Sinatra syndrome going on in our life. I'm going to do it my way. You can't be a Christian and do it your way. You're not allowed. You think Jesus Christ done it his way? Well, you know what I'd have done if I was Jesus Christ? They wouldn't even got me to going up the mountain to the cross. They'd have got me the first time they threatened me over any of you. I said, nope, not the move I'm going to make. Going back to me and my own and let them go. That's not the long game. Whew, I want the truck. I'm sorry, old truck. I want a new truck so bad. I have about 65,000 reasons I don't have one. Yeah, if you didn't get that, you've never been in my shoes. I'd like to have a new career. I'd love to have a mansion. And I would love to do nothing besides run around each day having fun with my friends. I would love to do all four of those. And you know what? Most of us spend about 90% of our life doing those four things right there. That's our moves. That is our moves. There's our motives. That's the game we're trying to win right there. I've asked people sometimes who introduce them. Hey, Mark, who? And they tell my friend, what do you do? Who are you? Well, I live in that big mansion over across the road. Proud of it. And I drive that brand new Silverado sitting in the parking lot, proud of it. And I just got a new job, Fortune 500 company, making all this money, and we're going to Acapulco with my friends next week. They told me what they do, not who they are. Because that's all they're worried about is possession, 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 and possession a good time. They didn't mention God one time. It's where, who are you? I'm a child of God. Has anybody ever asked you when they first introduce yourself to you, are you a Christian? What's even better than that is they say, I believe you're a Christian. I love it when they ask, but I love it even more when somebody says, you're a Christian, aren't you? This is what your end goal is supposed to be right here. Every day of your life. Philippians 3:14, it's not through 21, it's just 14. I didn't get that all. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Jesus Christ. That's your move every day. Don't you wish in life you had one secret move that fixed all problems? I could do this every time and it fixes it. We sort of believe we do. If I only had more money, I could fix my problems. If my health was better, it would fix all my problems. If I lived in a better home and didn't have to repair this thing all the time, it'd fix all my problems. Temporary. If you're pressing towards what Jesus Christ through God is telling you to do, that one move will fix all your problems eventually. Brothers, I do not consider that I have made it my own. Philippians, I do have more Philippians 3:13, 14. But one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and straining forward to what lies ahead. I like those two words, forgetting. Went to a family Thanksgiving yesterday. Home folks, sorry Daisy, if you get a chance to eat there, best food I ever ate, $15. All you can eat. Now, I'm not going to talk about all you can get in life. I'm going to leave that out for a minute. But that is behind me. You know the one thing I took away from it? 95% of what went on, there was 30 of us something there, family, was good. Food was good. Most of the talk was good. Price was good. The restaurant wasn't full. But I got asked a few personal questions about some other family members. Why is he doing this? What's going on? And I said, don't know. I'm not here to worry about that. What's my purpose for being down there? My purpose is going there to spend Thanksgiving dinner with my mom. I had one purpose. I wasn't going to get sucked into that. I wasn't going to let anybody pull me in by making the wrong move into a place I didn't need to be. Because that was an area I didn't need to go to, an area I didn't want to be in, and I had no way to fix the problem they were talking about. So why would I make that move? What would be the point? Because we like to gossip. We like to talk about, I know the way things should be, and I can straighten this out for me and everybody. I clammed up. Oh, Lord, I know. You said, no, you didn't. That's impossible. Yeah, I did too. I found out put food in mouth and words don't come out. It worked real good for me yesterday. I eat too much because I need to put food in mouth so words wouldn't come out. Maybe I need to carry a candy bar or something with me all the time so when I get to the situation I can put food in mouth. Y'all are laughing. But the Bible says it's better you cut off your tongue than to let it get the best of you. And usually when somebody's whispering asking you something like that, that's the wrong question to be involved in to start with. If you can't say it out publicly, you probably shouldn't be whispering in a crowd. I press towards the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. The upward call. Upward. Not sideways, not down. If you're trying to make somebody on the same level with you, you're not lifting them up. If you're going down to somebody's level. Now, I didn't say you couldn't pull people up. Because we're the upward call for Jesus. If we're moving up, the only direction we can bring somebody's up. But when you go down to their level and you start participating in things they're doing down here, you're bringing Jesus down also. You're moving the whole game to another level. In chess, I would call that cheating. You can win in this world by cheating. Say you're playing chess and somebody needs to excuse herself to go to the restroom. You move a few pieces around. You're cheating. How many pieces do we move around in this world that hurts other people for our advantage? God's purpose for our life has two parts. The world to come, but also the world you're living in now. If you're only worried about heaven, you can't because you're human. Everything I'm going to do today is going to affect me getting to heaven, but it affects my life here on earth too. But you must do God's purpose in the present world to have a purpose or a chance to get to the world to come. It's like magnets. You ever grab magnets? There's a north and south on them. You either come together because two of the ends attract, or you turn it over, it forces itself away from the other. You cannot make them stay together. I don't care how strong you are, that force will overcome you sooner or later. If you're doing God's will, it attracts. If you're doing your will, it pushes you away from Jesus Christ. Sorry, laws of nature are like that, so is God. Come unto me. It did not say go away from me. He can't help you if you're going away. The cost for the prize. The cost for the prize of the world to come is the world you're living in now. You're going to give up one or the other. And if you don't think that's true, quit doing anything for God. You will regret it. Something for nothing. Get lucky, my skills. I can make my moves, Mark. I've been doing it for a year. I'm successful. I got all of the nice things this world has to offer. I have been better than everybody else around me. I have achieved. I got pride, position, money. I can get anything I want in this world. Congratulations. You're going to own it for 78 years. That's the average lifespan, 76, 78 for a man. And then you're going to give it back. You ever went to the fair, the carnival, and there's something you want there, and it's all games of skill? First of all, the games are rigged. Second of all, what you're looking at is cheap, pathetic, no worth to it whatsoever. It just looks good to the eyes. And that guy there, they call him a carny, they're yelling at you, hey, come win this for your kids. Come win this for your girlfriend. Your pride makes you go take that money out and start feeding it to that machine. That machine is called pride. I got to give it to that. I got to prove I can win this. I got to prove I can do it. Now, if you ever wasted $50 at a fair at games, raise your hand. Ooh, I have. And win a $5 or less prize. Ooh, I have. So what are you going to do if you win this world? You're going to get your $5 prize, which is a piece of junk, and you wasted so much value of your life getting it to impress somebody else. I got smarter than that in this world. If one of my kids or grandkids said, I want that stuffed dolphin, I'd pull out my phone and go, Walmart, stuffed dolphin. I said, I'll get you one tomorrow. I'll order it. Because I could order it for a cheaper price than trying to win it. Now, there is no such thing in God's house as something for nothing. Yeah, salvation's free. But to keep salvation, you are going to pay a price. Something for nothing. No one comes to the Father except through me. You can't get to heaven unless you go through Jesus Christ. And the only way to go through Jesus Christ is to live like Jesus Christ, to do like Jesus Christ, to walk like Jesus Christ, to represent Jesus Christ, and to follow Jesus Christ. Believing's not enough. Confessing's not enough. That don't get you to heaven. To come to the Father, come means making a direction, going in a way. It's not you're there. If I say come here, you're not here till you get up and make an effort to get here. You got to do something to get here. Physically, you got to make yourself move. Mentally, you got to make yourself move. And spiritually, you have to allow your body and mind to work together to get you to God. And you do it through Jesus Christ. John 6:38, Jesus says, for I have come down from heaven not to do my will, but to do the will of him who sent me. Jesus Christ never moved one chess piece. He never pondered or thought about one move. He said, God, thy will be done. He never asked, God, do you want to hear my opinion? God, do you want my input? God, I'm not sure that's right. You know what I'd call that? A perfect child. What if you had a child, everything you said to them, they took as pure truth and just done it? Was you a perfect child? Oh, come on. I questioned everything my dad said. If we went fishing, I thought he was fishing the wrong kind of bait. I tried something different. He always caught more fish than I did. It took me years to realize my dad knew some things much better than I did. And you know why I finally learned? I got tired of never catching fish. I was failing. You got to fail before you believe God's got your best and let him make your moves for you. We got to move. All right. We're going to skip that one. Yeah. Seek God's will in all you do, and he will direct your paths. I love the poem. It's about where two paths divide. It's a poem about you're walking down one path, get back in the woods, and it splits. One path's rough, rocky, hard. The other one's smooth, flat. And we choose the smooth, flat one. It's not easy, guys. Life in general is not easy. You're going to get beat up, knocked down, spit on, talked about, ridiculed. You're going to fail more than you win. The only thing we got going for us, I know where the path leads. It don't matter if it's going through alligators, swamps, mountains, sharp rocks, dangerous animals. I'm going to get bit. I'm going to get cut. I'm going to get hurt. And I'm going to have to get back up and keep going. Or I'm going to quit. And I'm going to lay on that path and die and wilt away. As a church, we've gone through some hard things. We have. As individuals, you've gone through some hard things. You have. I greatly admire some people in this church. I've seen them get knocked down. That would have killed most people. I don't mean physically. It killed your will, your spirit, your desire to go on. I watched them get back up the next day. The next day. Then I watch some people, a little something happens to them, and you think they should get up fast, and they go days, weeks, and months. That's still affecting them. I'm not being judgmental. But there's things in life you got to overcome. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Did Jesus play the long game? You know how long I had to look to find a picture of Jesus playing chess? Look it up. I found one picture. That was 30 minutes worth right there. I'm serious. To find a picture of Jesus playing chess. Oh, by the way, you pull up anything, you look for it long enough. From birth, through his childhood, each and every day, every thought, every action, every emotion, every pain, every joy, he was guided by God. I don't know where he ever doubted God's will for his life. I don't know where he ever said, wish I could take that, move back and went a different direction. Or whoops, I made a wrong move. I can't overcome that. I'm down and I'm out. I'm not getting back up. That commercial on TV, I've fallen and can't get up. Well, you poor Christian. You poor Christian. How did the lady on TV say, well, I've fallen and can't get up? How did she get up? She reached out for help. And somebody helped her up. So when you're a Christian, you fall and you think, I can't get up. It's time your hand goes up. You asked for help. And if you got too much pride to ask for help, you're not going to get it. Satan's going to come along and help you. He's going to stomp on you a few times while you're down. The first principle. What about your present situation? Where are you? As followers of Jesus, we're responsible to follow Jesus, to represent him, and to win as many as possible to Christ. I came to see a soul saved. I'm glad you're here today. But you know, of all of us here, if there's one lost person out here, the priority's them. My whole thought should be, if there's a sinner in this church or somebody's backslid, how can we help them today? I ask you this little simple question. 10 people in a room. 9 of them haven't eaten in a week. 1 of them hasn't ate in 2 weeks. Who do you give the food to? If you know the one that's been there 2 weeks, if you just got 1 crumb of bread, you should give it to them first. So if in this church, are your problems the worst problems here? So why are we begging God to help us and we're not worried about our fellow Christian? Why are our thoughts on us? Our moves is to help us. Should be to help them the most. All right. Guess what? Through the pain, through the rain, in my heart and in my brain. I made that up. I like that. I'm going to say it again. Through the pain, through the rain, in my heart and in my brain. I don't care how much pain I got in my life. I don't care how much rain's coming on me, the circumstances around me. I don't care. Because I know in my heart that Jesus Christ has got this. I know in my brain. It's easy to know in your heart, and your brain tells you the opposite. We let our brain control us. Well, you're supposed to think. No, sometimes you're supposed to listen to God and Jesus Christ and quit doing your own thinking. The circumstances that Paul faced, Philippians 1 and 12, this is what he said. Now, I want you to know, brothers, that what has happened to me has really served to advance the gospel. He was in prison, beaten. And he said it's a good thing. It advanced God's will. It advanced God's ability to touch others. How many people watched Paul? How many people seen him in prison, in shackles, beaten, tortured? And how many said, this man has still got a good attitude. He's not crying and begging for his life. He's not cursing God. He's not turning his back on God. He's not mad at even the ones who's doing it. So Paul was joyful in his chains. I got a chain right here today. I don't have chains on both hands. I just got a little bit of chain. That little chain will aggravate you to death, so it becomes a big problem. Had a little thorn right here. I was too lazy to go pick it out. Every day when I was driving to work in my truck, I'd sit there and, man, I wish that thorn wasn't there. Why didn't I get it out? Too lazy. You know how much effort it takes to get the thorn of sin out of your life? Very little. I had the ability to get rid of it. But you know what I think I want sometimes? I want to feel sorry for myself because I got a thorn. Look here, I got a thorn. See my thorn? Feel sorry for me? Pray for me. I got a thorn. I had the ability to get rid of my own thorn. But I make sure you know I got a thorn. Paul had to say this about his chains. Because of my chains, most of the brothers in the Lord have been encouraged to speak the word of God more courageously and fiercely. Because I was willing to go through chains, my brothers was willing to believe in God more. When I see you suffer and you still smile, I see you still talk good and happy. I asked you how your day going. You said things are good. I love that because I know it's not. I know you well enough. I know you got problems in your life. You suffer. But when you tell me today's a good day, I say, thank God. I'm glad somebody can get through things. Maybe I can too. Well, getting there. All right, let's go on. Tough journey. Second one, being it for the long game. I love the picture of a man rolling that rock up the hill. You know what's going to happen if he slips once? That rock's going all the way to the bottom. You know sometimes in your life, you're going to let that rock slip. And you're going all the way back to the bottom. You got to start all over. But you know something I still discovered? If I can push that rock halfway up the mountain, I can push it all the way. The rock didn't get heavier. I get weaker is the reason I can't do it. As long as I stay strong, I can push that rock. The rock's not the problem, it's me. Your problems and people in this world is not your problems, it's you. it's me. No, let's just say it's you. That we can't blame me. And you are a way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Do you believe it? Do you believe it, or do you just sing it? If you believe that, there is no rock too big. There is nothing you can't overcome. Now, I didn't say the rock didn't get heavy. The longer you push it, the more tired you're going to get. But you also know the longer you push it, the stronger you're going to get. Got on a treadmill for the first time. Barbara said we needed one. It wasn't my choice. Well, Barbara says I do. Sometimes it's about what everybody might think. Went and got it. I hate putting them together. That's the biggest war, putting them together. I got on it and walked 2 miles. And I was going, 7 days later, I'm on it going 2 miles. Let's go 2.5. The treadmill walking didn't get easier. I got stronger. Almost done. The living cries, okay, I'll finish this. Are you sold out anytime, any place? Paul and Silas were. I got to finish. All right. We're going to go on. Boy, see, I had about 6 weeks to do this. Sorry. I got 2 big responsibilities while I'm here on earth. I need to make that picture happen for everybody else. That's people going up to heaven. I want the clouds and the sky to be crowded the day I go. The Bible says we will be called up. That means it's not just me. So if you think you're the only one going to heaven, the Bible uses the word we. My job is to make that path crowded. I need it to be more crowded than the Atlanta Interstate going through Atlanta at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's 16 lanes of traffic. Can I do that? That's my one job. That's the moves I should be making. But the moves I really should be making is right here. That's my shoes. My number one priority on earth is to make sure I do come first, get me to heaven. In a moment we shall be changed. He uses the word we. I think I say me shall be changed. Because if I'm not changed and I got others to heaven, God's going to frown on me come Judgment Day. A little bit more. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Playing chess. You've been sitting there playing for an hour. You know, if the opponent makes one more move, you can make a move and you're going to win. And you sit there, you get anxious, hoping they make that move. You see him touch that piece, and he moves it where you need him to move it. And all of a sudden you go, I just won. I got one more move to make, and I have won. Ladies and gentlemen, we got one more move to make, and we've won. I don't care how many games you lost in your life. I don't care how long you struggled. Today could be the last move you make. And that screen's blank. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to sit down. Thank you for letting me teach. I don't know if I get through to you or not. I don't know if I make any sense. I do know this. When I get a lesson together, I do ask God, Lord, what do I need to be teaching? And he, like Brother Doug says, a lot of times he doesn't tell you anything. But God has never failed me in anything in my life. Not one time. During the week, out of the blue, something happens. Something I didn't even think about. Something I think is just something so piddling it don't even matter. And God says, did you get that? I get what, God? I just showed you. I just showed you the next move to make. And you're not interested in making the move because you're not paying attention. So no matter what's going on in your life this morning, I don't care what it is. God's not going to come out some big way and give you the solution. But if your eyes and your heart's open, I promise you, He's going to show you if you're listening. Now, when I'm not listening to God, He shows me things. He's got to tell me, you're not even paying attention, Mark. I'm talking to you. Well, God, I didn't hear any words. It is the simplest little thing sometimes. I got a lesson coming up. Sometimes I think God's hilarious. He's the funniest I've ever met in my life. If you will listen to God. I'm not God. Brother Doug's not God. None of us are God. When God's got something really important to talk to you about, the source is coming to you if you'll listen. And if you're willing to take it to heart, will it fix your problem? I didn't say that. I said it's a solution. A solution don't always fix things. If my truck won't go, I have choices. But I also know this. No matter what happens comes Monday, I got a way to go to work. I know next week I got a way to work. I'll find a way. But in my spiritual world, I know I got a way to get through today. And I know I got a way to get through tomorrow and the next week. Because I know God will supply that need. Thank you.